Seven talked to his friend and my other cousin. I talked my one cousin into it, and I got 5 people there.
Dove, will you give an update?
I started about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I started working at Strong's Pizza, which is this local brick oven pizza restaurant about a mile from our house. We've been going there for like almost as long as we've lived here, and it's pretty good. I applied there and they asked me 2 questions and then said I was hired. And so that was that, and then I started working there. They said that I was doing a great job and like they wanted to make me a manager. I was just like kind of surprised, and like I don't know, it felt pretty crazy because I haven't worked at a real job in like over a year now. And all the jobs I've had before this have been kind of disappointing, and it just made me feel like, or like know that I really did not want to like work in this way, like work a 9 to 5 type of job. So that's why this year I've been doing a lot of like small business stuff and just creating things and trying to sell those things and just do my own businessy, whatever, make money that way. Hearing that, like, I was just like, they really liked how I worked and liked my work ethic and were really benefiting from me being there was really cool to hear and like encouraging, I guess. Like, I'm getting trained to be a manager now, and I told my brother about it and my sisters, obviously, and I think I might have told one of my cousins. I remember I pitched it to my cousin, and I pitched it to Eden, and I got her a job there. And I kind of pitched it to Seven, but not as much. But then all of a sudden, like, Seven talked to his friend and my other cousin, and I talked my one cousin into it, and now we have, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people there who just had their first day yesterday, and 2 people who are considering applying. So it's kind of fun because it's fun working with people that you know, and it's like we're all kids who are, I guess, pretty good workers. I thought people would do all right there, and yesterday being their first day, it was pretty good, and it was really chill and fun. And I hope it lasts for like a little bit at least, because I think it'll be like a fun experience and a good experience for all of us. Yeah, I'm like managing my brothers and sisters, which is pretty normal for me, so it wasn't anything out of my comfort zone, but it's like a different setting, so that's kind of weird. And then I'm kind of just like teaching my cousins too how to work there. It's been really cool, and this is like their second day working, so we'll see how they do. It's really helped me prioritize the time that I'm not working more, and one of those things that I really value is like having a time in the morning where I read from a lot of these books. I've been really into poetry. I've been reading all of these, and got my Enneagram book of the week that I'm just going through, and I journal, and I just really like it. It's like almost like eating. It's like food for the day. So I appreciate that. The earliest you have to be at Strong's is at 10:30, and I can easily get in like whatever, if we work out that day breakfast and do my reading time. It's actually a pretty intense job. Like, I think when it's a really small space and we get so much business, especially on the weekends and especially during the summer. Normally for dinners and like we get a lunch rush and a dinner rush, and the dinner rush can last till like 4 hours. So like I've been in the same spot almost for the most part in the same spot making pizza for 4 hours. But I really appreciate how like the bosses and the management are really like good at being like your advocate and like, okay, you've been here a long time, you should go home and get some rest, or like I forgot my tips like 3 times and they like save them for me, and like, so it's not like sleazy or weird or anything, and I appreciate that. So yeah.
Wanted to give a little progress update. I'm on day 3 of my challenge of writing a book in 1 week, 5 days, and I was supposed to get started at 9 a.m. It's currently 10:15 and I'm just opening up the document to start writing. But I will say this, that's the bad news. I feel like I'm behind my self-imposed schedule. The good news is I'm excited to write for the first time in 3 days. I'm actually happy with what I put down, although I'm getting started later than I thought. I'm not dreading it, which is what was more true the other 2 days. And even though I've been working on some other things, like Cammy's birthday is coming up, so I'm trying to like look at hotels and stuff, which is, I know, kind of like just excuses too, but because I probably could do that at a different time. I've actually been like kind of itching to get into this now. So well, maybe I should stop procrastinating by talking to the camera. Here goes. Well, I technically got some writing done. Man, I'm really starting to rethink if I can even handle writing on a laptop. There's so many distractions for me. It's so hard to focus, not get distracted by YouTube and stock market and email. But now I'm doing something kind of exciting. So I'm ending early and I started late. I'm going to my first yoga lesson of my entire life with Memory. You ready to go to yoga?
Sort of. I don't really know what to wear.
Me neither. I have a Lululemon tank top that I think is a yoga brand that someone gave me.
Wait, where are you going?
I don't know.
Do you have yoga mat?
No, can I borrow yours?
She's taking one.
Alright.
Her. I have another one.
That's okay.
I can bring.
I think they have them we can borrow.
Didn't borrow. I don't know.
That's what they said.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi. Oh.
Good.
Thank you.
I have been wanting to try yoga for actually almost a year now. I never thought about doing it before that. And then as of a year ago, I thought it would sound really cool, but I have not known how to get into it. So it's felt a little bit intimidating. I've never tried it, never done it once, never taken a lesson. I wanted to get a lesson from someone before just hopping on YouTube or doing these like virtual classes, because I've heard they can like help you with your posture or do things more correctly. But I don't know that for sure. And we're running a little bit late, so I'm wondering if we're gonna like show up and be like not know what we're doing at all. Also, I don't have anything. All I have is water and a mask. I think they might have yoga mats there we can borrow if we need that. I don't even know what we need. Memory, you wanna talk about how you're feeling?
I'm really excited to do this. I've been wanting to like improve my flexibility and balance. my grandma has been doing yoga for like 10 years, like, or well, maybe not 10 years. I know she's done it, but lately, like since she's moved here, she's done it like almost every single morning for like 5 years. And she's like the most flexible person I know, and she's like, for her age, it's like really great. I don't know, she inspires me to do that, so I'm really excited. I've been wanting to do it for a while as well. That's it. We only brought one yoga mat that we borrowed from Humany, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
The kid, the junior that is, will be down in a minute unless you'd like to take her up to her.
We finished. That's where we did our yoga class, and then this place here, they actually sell our book, which is why I ended up doing yoga here. So that was really interesting. What did you think about that?
I actually really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's definitely something I would want to get better at. I feel like if it was easier, it would be more fun, but it was kind of hard at some times. It was also pretty relaxing, I feel like.
Yeah, it's weird because it pushes my body, but yet it's also like so non-competitive. I'm used to workouts being, like when I play racquetball, which I'm doing in a little bit here, it's so intensely competitive, and this is so like personal, just the language they use. She's like, I now invite you to do this.
Or let my light touch your light.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. I don't know, it's kind of like, it's interesting. It's a really good experience. I feel like it's not something we're like used to. We're used to like running, working out, all these like activities that are very like...
And then it was this combination of hard work, but then at the end I almost fell asleep like on the ground.
Yeah, me too. I was like, I could just fall.
I felt like I could lay there forever.
Okay, I'm gonna give an update on me writing my book and how that's been going. It has not been going how I thought it would. Mostly because when I sit down to write, I can get really, really into it, and I can spend hours writing, and I really enjoy it, and I like love, I don't know, I think it's almost like a therapy for me, because sometimes when I'm writing these stories, it's almost like taking things that happen to me, but more taking the feelings and then describing them through different circumstances. And that's really therapeutic, and I really enjoy doing that. The problem is not with the writing. The problem is that I have been doing a pretty bad job, or I just have not been prioritizing my sleep schedule. I don't really have one right now, and that's the thing. And then also my personal goals. And one of the reasons why I think that's been so hard for me is a couple things. One, a lot has been going on. I got a new job at a pizza place, and that's why I have this shirt on. And that's actually only 2 days a week, so it's not that much. But it does take up mind space and time, and it's pretty exhausting because the place is like tiny, but it gets a ton of business. And a lot of people, I think, are overworked there, but it's only 2 days a week, so it's not that bad. But also, I've been hanging out with my friends and my cousins a lot more as it's been getting warmer. We've been able to do more things, and more opportunities have opened up, and I have a lot of personal, like, good things, like goals and things that I want to do going on, but there's just a lot of it. And on top of that, like on top of all these things that are going on, which I'm not sure if actually this is a normal amount of things going on or not, for me, I mean, I think one of my fears is that a year ago,
actually at this point it would be more than a year ago, I was extremely concerned about being organized and always having a schedule, always having a calendar. I had alarms for several things every single day, and I had a to-do list every day, and I was extremely structured. And that, I enjoyed that for a time, but that ended up taking a lot away from my life and my relationships. And there's a couple different vlogs about me talking about this and going more in depth into this, but basically it ended up taking a toll on my life to where I couldn't be like that anymore, and it was like a huge process of me like breaking down how I go about my day and how I approach my relationships, and pretty much everything in my life was being called into question. Why that's affecting me now is coming out of that. I do things quite a bit differently than I did then. I don't know if that's good or bad. Sometimes I miss the way I did things back then, because it seemed a little simpler. But instead, I think what I really prioritized back then was ultimately like looking good to myself and to other people, which in that case meant doing my work, doing it well, and then mostly just like focusing on the work and saying no to pretty much everything. And I don't say no to things anymore, and I don't want to. And so finding that balance between my own goals and when something comes up, when a friend reaches out, when an opportunity comes around, for example, like a late night where I'm finishing up the day's work or something, and then like someone's like, oh hey, do you want to watch a movie, or do you want to go get pizza or something like that, comes up, it's like it's very hard for me to discern when that's a good idea and when that's a bad idea, and when to put aside my goals and when to put aside the moment or the relationship that I have with the person. Recently, I've been like leaning more and more towards just going for it and not doing my personal goals, but that has been taking a toll on my personal goals, and I think a little bit even like my mental health, because I mean, on the flip side, I'm having a lot more fun, I think, in some ways, and I'm enjoying myself more often. But also when I don't get stuff done, that stuff kind of piles up in my brain, and I'm like, oh, I didn't do this, and I didn't do this, and I didn't do this, and there's a lot of things that I want to do, so it's really hard for me to find that balance, and I think it'll be a lifelong process. But right now it's like at the surface, like that's one of the biggest things I'm dealing with right now, and so that's affecting my writing. That's I have been setting aside time for writing, but definitely not as much as I wanted to. And then even when I set aside time, because of all these things going on, I feel like I can't focus on the writing, or I can't get into the writing mode, or whatever you want to call it. I still am writing, I still want to write, but I mean, there's so much more to just that. There's so much more to my life right now than just writing. I'm also really tired right now, which is completely my fault. I stayed up super late watching like a movie and waiting for a phone call, and I got up early, so you know, that's what happens when you do that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think anyone really has it figured out. And I feel like that should make me feel better, but it's not. It's making me feel like if no one has this figured out, like I want to figure it out. And I think it's gonna be like a huge process that, like I said, will be lifelong, of just like, I mean, it has to do with habits, what you spend your free time doing, what you spend your not free time doing, if you even have free time, when you don't have free time, what you want your like attitude, or your attitude I feel like you can change, but I think a big part of that is your mental state. And like, at least for me personally, so many different things that I don't even know about have, and like just do affect my mental state. Like little tiny things. It's so weird, and there's so much. With that, it's really exciting. I'm learning a lot, I'm doing a lot of new things, I have a lot of opportunities, which I am really excited about, a lot of them, but it's also just a little exhausting and taxing, and so far I haven't found an answer to that. I've talked to quite a few people about it, because it's something that I've struggled with ever since, you know, like when you become a teenager and then you become an adult, pretty much, and there's so many responsibilities that you put on yourself and people put on you just with that. Even with just turning 18, all of a sudden you're supposed to have and do all these things, which I think are ridiculous, but at the same time, it's the way that our culture functions, so there's still a lot of pressure to do and have those things. But that's a different topic. Yeah, I think I need to take a nap. But yeah, it's also just like, with me kind of letting go of a lot of the things that I used to feel of the need to control, it's been really fun to just let things play out. But like I said, it's also taxing, because then you're like, because I didn't plan this out, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen. And then I end up prioritizing things that are last minute and in the moment and are really fun, but in the long run I don't know how much they're gonna help me. But that's just life, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. I do think though, by the end of this week I will have a story at least written. I don't know if it's gonna be good. I doubt it's gonna be what I thought it was gonna be, and I don't know how I'm gonna get it out there, but I wanna do all of those things. So we'll see. Thanks for watching me ramble about life. If you ever found, I mean, I think it's different for everybody, but if you've ever found something that kind of helps you hold on in those moments when it feels like nothing is in your control, or when it feels like you just don't know what to do, or you're exhausted, or you're tired and excited all at once, comment down below, or not. Just think about it or share it with someone else. I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Life is. Thanks for watching.
For 5 months, our family walked 13 miles every day.
We became the largest family to complete the Appalachian Trail.
We encountered snowstorms, overflowing rivers, rattlesnakes, and the government threatening to take away our kids.
And that was the easy part.
2,000 miles together, the story of the largest family to hike the Appalachian Trail is available on Amazon and all major online retailers.